went away from the two bigs there. Do you think that was coincidental with the?
Yeah, I told the staff, look, Coach Calhoun, I have a lot of respect for, Jim Calhoun. So when Connecticut used to play big, and they would play these games, and I remember one time he said, hey, we're not going to be this was obviously in the Big East. We're not going to be able to go small and win in the Big East, so we need to learn how to deal with this. So, I knew we should have probably started small and just switched everything. But I didn't think we would get anything out of that. Now you're going to say you're absolutely nuts. You could have lost. Maybe I am. I'm sure there's a lot of people that will probably agree with you that I am crazy. But I just thought we needed to try to be able to defend them with a bigger lineup. Now, we're not going to play many teams that five-man spends all his time at the three-point line. So I just thought, we needed to try it. And they couldn't, nobody, look, Adai, all we got to do is throw him the ball. You can't guard him. But it was tough in the second half because I decided to go small, switch everything. I knew at some point tonight it might be a possibility that I had to do it, but it was time. I think we were down 7.
Yeah, 7 or 9 or something. Then the defense picked up basically from that point on, would you say? Across the board, Sebastian, Dylan, Alon.
Yeah, once we started switching everything, it kind of eliminated them. They didn't make a three the last 17 minutes. So they had 7 made threes. Trace, yeah. What about? They hit a couple right out the gate to start the second half. And once we start switching everything, they never made another one.
When you go to one post, what did it do for you offensively, too?
I don't know if that was great. I'll have to watch the film. Because look, at them struggled. I told him, I didn't get through to him, and I told Coach Savino, and it was a complete failure on our part, that you got to pass the ball. They're going to be all over you. They're going to be all over you. You got to just pass it out. We're going to have to make shots. That's just what's coming. If you can't catch it and score, if you have to make a post move, they're going to be all over you. They watched the game the other night. So we failed at that.
How about the shorter rotation in the second half compared to the first also?
Just try, at some point, I had trying to get 5 guys could get a stop. Just 5 guys could get a stop. And Alon's one of our better defenders.
Coach, on Monday you talked about, and I think you touched on this a little bit just now, but playing offense through a dem. What did you make of Dylan and Sebastian being able to do so much in a dem's place? And
well, they got plenty of opportunities. They were going under all their screens and just giving them shots.
And then
they were basically. Look, I think it was the right thing to do if you're them. So you got to just pack it in and hope for the best. Okay, that's what gave them a chance because we missed a lot of open shots to start the game. So it's just opportunity. Every game's different, guys. So tonight they were going to pack it in. Somebody's got to knock some shots in. But I think we got in transition. I would say that's what helped our offense more than big, small, whatever. We got some steals finally, got out in transition, got some layups. I don't know how many we had at halftime. I think none, but we had 10 fast break points. I think they're all in the second half.
Yeah. And then you guys had 2 assists in that first half and then 5 in the second. Did you feel that there was a lot of isolation ball being played?
No, they were going under and just giving us a shot, and we were taking the bait, and we weren't getting the ball to the second side. So it's a growth process with this team. We were just taking the bait. And I know we were open, but their coaching staff, and I think it was a smart move, said we're just going to give that up. So they're going to take open jump shots, but they're not going to get a rebound because they're not going to move us. So we're going to expend no energy defensively. They're going to throw 1 or 2 passes. We're going to go under and let them shoot. Then we're going to spend all our energy back cutting, passing, wheeling, and they're spending all their energy trying to break us down on the offensive end. Well, defense, let's just go back, pack it in, go under, let them shoot, box out. You get no rebounds when you don't move the ball. And they expend no energy defensively. So I thought it was a great game plan by them.
Coach, do you prefer this score first version of Dylan?
So what version?
The score first, like looking to score.
Did I tell him to do that?
Did you prefer it to the game managing one?
That wasn't his mindset. Did you talk to him?
No.
I was just wondering because you just told me his mindset was score first.
I just thought he looked like coming out to shoot those first two shots.
I just
for
said
the
they
first 6
weren't
points.
guarding him. He's got to. What I prefer is guys that can take what the defense gives them. They just weren't guarding him. So he made what I prefer on offense are players that make the right decision. Dylan made a lot of good decisions tonight. Adem did not. But it's going to be a learning process with him.
Is Dylan coming back from his injury? Is he almost all the way back?
I would think so. We haven't talked about that in a long time. I just thought his decisions of when to shoot and pass were much better tonight. Much, much better tonight. And when you do that, it's amazing how you shoot a higher percentage. But if you come out with a score-first mentality and you're just going to try to score, you're going to be a bad player. So that's why I get nervous when you say that. They just gave him shots, guys. He took his time, knocked them in. But it was the result. He had 2 really, really good practices. I thought Alon Fablou was a big key tonight for us. He's really struggled. He's still got a big gash on his hand from where he fell. It's tough for him to grip the ball. So, his shooting is messed up because it's right where he shoots the ball. So it's just tough. They're medical. You can only make. You rip your hand open falling on the concrete, it's hard. Can't speed up the healing. You need it, Ben? I don't know where the players are.
Just one more. When it comes to, whether you want to go four out, 1 in, or 2 bigs,
It's more for defense.
do you want to find a way to play and make teams adjust to that, or do you want to just keep adjusting to whatever the team presents?
I've always tried to recruit at least one guy, 6'7", that can defend small and big, which would be, which would have been Jaime, a Chris Smith, Trey Scott, Gary Clark, guys at Cincinnati. So if you need to go small, you can. Because there's, as my friend George Jackson used to tell me, to win the trophy, you got to dance to every song they play. You can't just play the big lineup. Sometimes you got to play the small lineup. We went to the Final Four playing Jalen Clark at center when Cody got in foul trouble against Alabama. We didn't put Kenny in. They were too fast for Kenny. So, which is why I recruited Jalen Clark, because I knew, this guy can do everything on defense. Guy guarded 1s, he guarded 5s. So it just, there's a lot of winning players come in all type of different packages. So that's why Alon's a key recruit for us. It's tough because we're going to have to play some zone to get real to the crux. I think what you're trying to be able to play a die and a dem, it depends who you're playing. But here's a team just wheeling around the three-point line. It's tough. Where are you going to put a die more? Are you going to ask him to defend the three-point line? And you're not going to see that a lot in high major games. But it was tough because they couldn't have guarded him. He was nervous the other night, but he had great practices and he was ready. And all we got to do is throw it to him. You talk about offensive issues, that'll solve offensive issues. Just throw him the ball. Because he's more polished as a scorer than a down.
I have to ask just one more question about status of Berke.
Day to day, we're doing everything we can to try to get an answer and speed it up as much as we can. It's frustrating. Very frustrating. So I feel for him. People forget in this whole scheme of things, you got a kid and is trying to chase his dreams. But that tends to get lost in the shuffle. A lot. All right, guys.
Thanks for the description.